It's always been something I've wanted to do since I've been younger.
Yeah.
And I just started to give it a shot and see how far I can get.
Fist full of diamonds, hand full of rings. Baby, you're a star. I just want to show you you are. You should let me love you. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to our project, One Direction Infection. I keep calling it a project and not a podcast because it feels embarrassing.
Yeah, a project. But it can be both.
Yeah. Well, you are Emma.
Yeah, and you're Summer.
I am. Yeah, this is our Directioner Deep Dive podcast.
Yes, for fans by fans.
Yeah, and we're focusing on the timeline of One Direction. And right now we're still in the early days of X Factor.
So early. Yeah, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about Zayn's audition and early life. Yeah, I feel like Zayn is a pretty private person, and his audition is so fast. Like, there's honestly, there's like a little bit to dig into, but yeah.
Yeah, from my assigned content, it was so quick. It was like literally 5 minutes, and I was like, oh, I guess I'm done.
Yeah, especially like the originally aired clip is just like, thanks, Zayn. And then he leaves.
Yeah, what did you say before? He like came and slayed and then left?
I feel like
I don't remember. You said something like that before.
He came, he slayed,
and you left.
and he is gone.
On the record, this is what you've said before.
I don't even remember. I don't remember that moment. This sounds right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much we mentioned about like X Factor itself, so I just wanted to like, I guess, recap it from the previous episode. So we're on X Factor Series 7, which means season 7 in English. In regular, normal American English.
British versus English. Can you translate that for me? From British English to American
English. Yeah, so contestants have to, or I guess hopefuls have to pass the producer's audition first, which is off camera, or they could send in a video online. And then when I was like looking into the research of One Direction, Liam later on mentioned filling out like a form online in 2011. In their like little documentary, A Year in the Making.
Wow, oh my god.
And of course, as we know, each of the members were on the show as solo artists, and they didn't know each other. Yeah, and also we only had access to like, short auditions until 2022, which is when they were like, I don't know if it's like a business venture to be able to be like, hey, we have this extra content you've always wanted.
Yeah.
But they released like on YouTube extended cuts of their auditions.
I wonder if a contract expired. I have no idea.
I have no clue. Okay, so yes, after the Liam and Niall auditions, the next audition was Zayn's audition, July 10th, 2010, in Manchester. Yeah, Zayn is my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, I obviously love all the boys equally, but Zayn is like my soulmate.
Yes, yeah. It's like, well, I feel like it's normal to be like drawn to one more than the others. I feel like that's just how it is.
Yeah.
With most groups anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like for whatever reason, you and I, like, and our friends.
Yeah, oh my god.
You and like in middle school and high school, like when we like Big Time Rush, like
Yeah.
we had like it was like you and two of our friends, and you were like trying to indoctrinate me to like the remaining Big Time Rush member.
I needed a full group.
And it's like, I don't know if anybody else does that. I'm sure they do, but like, I don't know. I remember like later when I liked One Direction and I had like an online-ish friend that also liked One Direction, and she liked Louis, and I was like, I'm so glad you don't like Zayn. And she was like, what are you talking about?
I don't know. There's probably a deeper meaning to that.
Yeah, we had to be like, I don't know. I feel like we were almost like our ultimate fantasy was like moving into a big house and we each had our own husband.
Yes, our own husband. We had like our own wing of the house that we could live, but also we were living together in a big house.
Oh my God. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's just the fanfic reality of it all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fanfic reality.
Okay. Zayn was born as Zayn Javad Malik.
Wow.
So, also, his Zayn, he was, his real name, I think it's still his legal name is Zayn, and then his, like, stage name is considered, Zayn. And I think I've heard that was a suggestion from Simon, but hopefully if we continue this podcast to the end, we will, learn about that later.
We'll learn so much more.
Yeah. But yeah, it's Zayn. Just Zayn. I feel like I love like a one name.
Just, yeah. One consonant, not consonant. Syllable.
Yeah, but it's like Beyonce or like Cher.
Right. Yeah. Okay, got you.
Zayn was born on January 12th, 1993.
An Aquarius or Capricorn?
I don't know.
I think he's a Capricorn. I could be wrong. People are going to be like, and I'll be like... I'm trying to remember. I think Capricorn. But I also feel like...
Well, I was born December, and mid-December.
Yeah,
and I am
you're a
Sag.
Sagittarius, and then it's basically.
And then I thought after that it's Capricorn.
Yep, it's Capricorn from December 20th, 21st or so to January, probably about 20th, 21st.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Yeah, sometimes the dates are slightly off, and that's why I'm hesitant. But
Zayn is from Bradford, which is in northern England near Leeds. And I'm also realizing that England has like a lot of names for things, like for cities and like regions that I don't understand, like boroughs and village and I don't know, other stuff.
Okay. I feel like I've heard those terms used, but
yeah.
This is also just us learning about...
I'm learning how to be British.
I'm learning how to be British and learning the basics of the British map. That doesn't make sense. The basics?
The basics of the British map. But yeah, northern England near Leeds. Yeah. And the population there is about 500,000, which we're just kind of tracking population of their hometowns just because it's interesting.
It is very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's also pretty close to Manchester as well.
It's so small. Like, that's an island.
The country?
The country.
Yeah. How did England make such an impact besides, like, colonialism and stuff?
Yeah.
Like, I actually don't understand why they're so relevant to our, like, I don't know, our pop culture and stuff.
Yeah. There's probably, like, so many answers to that we're not diving into because this is about One Direction and One Direction only.
And also the British map.
Yeah, and also the British map. The topography. I don't know if that's the right word.
Did you say topography?
Yeah.
Cartography?
Maybe? Yeah.
I think that's, like, the study of geography.
Okay.
I took like a class, like a cartography class in college. I don't remember what we did.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Zayn is both Pakistani and English. So his dad, Yasser, is, so yeah, Yasser I wanted to say Malik. You know, for all I know, it could be pronounced Malik, and
could be.
everybody just was like, no, I want to say Malik.
Malak.
Who knows?
Who knows?
The whitewashing of Zayn.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, his dad is a Pakistani immigrant, and his mom, Trisha Malik, is, and I guess her maiden name was Brannon. That feels inappropriate for me to know.
Yeah, that does feel a little crazy.
But I wrote it down, so there it is.
Wow.
But yeah, she's a white woman, and she's English. I could have sworn, when I saw her, like, in the documentary, This Is Us, I could have sworn, and it's just, maybe it's just because all her kids are obviously not white.
Right. And,
like,
yeah.
I thought she was not white, but she's just brunette.
Yeah, and then also brown eyes.
Yeah. But she did convert to Islam, obviously, because they got married. Yeah. And so he has one sister, not one sister, he has one older sister, and I'm hoping, I did look up the pronunciations, but it was hard to find, like, a verbal pronunciation, and they say it different all the time.
Yeah, they do.
Like, so I couldn't find anything where he's, like, saying it, or I don't know. I'm sure I will eventually. But one older sister, Donya, and two younger, Walia and Safa. It's Safaa.
Oh, we love a middle child.
Middle child. Of sisters.
Of sisters.
All sisters.
Yeah.
And then this is a future fun fact, that Walia is the one that is in the Story of My Life music video.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah. There's no documentary on Zayn, but this is the best I could come up with. So he did apparently grow up listening to, like, R&B and rap, like, records. Especially, like, his dad really liked that kind of music, too. And then Wikipedia says, according to Wikipedia, and this is general knowledge too, but it's like, I want to know the specifics, and it's like, when I don't know the specifics, I'm like, what happened?
Right.
Like, what happened?
What is the evidence that backs the information up that, you're getting?
Yeah, like, backs it up, and also, like, makes me believe it. Like,
right.
Okay, so he took performing arts classes in school and appeared in school productions. Wow. What productions? I want to know. Was he in Grease?
Probably.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Like, who was he cast as? It's honestly hard for me to imagine.
Yeah, no, I agree. I want to know more.
And he's a theater kid. Like, that describes a theater kid.
The way they all kind of were, which is
I can picture all of them as theater kids besides Zayn. And maybe it's just, I don't know. Maybe I really don't know him.
Right. I mean, and I think that's the way he wants it. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm projecting. I mean, yeah, but.
Also, according to Wikipedia, he wrote raps and performed. This is what I don't get. Performed and sang at his school when the singer Jay Sean visited.
What?
I've seen this little fact around the internet.
Where's the video clips?
But I'm like, what details, please? What do you mean? This could be made up.
Yeah, I need to see the footage, because we have footage of so much. Where's the footage of that?
I don't know.
Were they not supposed to record? And no one has given it out, or did they record and no one?
I mean, to be fair,
it
was probably like 2008. Like, there were people that liked to record things, like me, as a child.
Yep.
With my digital camera, but like, that wasn't really you weren't necessarily going to get a recording.
That's fair.
Or if you did, it would be like one person. It'd be like your mom or something. So, or your friend. I don't know. Like. It's not like they then posted it on, like, Instagram.
Right. Because, like, would you have taken your digital camera? Like, if Jay Sean was visiting our school, would you have brought in your digital camera to record?
it doesn't seem like I would think
Right.
of that. I would just be like, wow, that's happening, I guess.
We're just going to go and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But now it's like we have, anyway, I'm not going to go on the tangent of having little phones in our pockets all the time, but like, it feels like we have so much other footage. It feels like we should have that as well.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, I feel like part of the reason we have, like, Niall, like, pre-X Factor footage is because he was, like, opening for that guy from
That
X
is true.
Factor.
Yeah.
And then with Liam, like, his dad uploaded stuff.
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah.
who knows?
Zayn Malik, who's another artist who's kind of,
absolutely.
bringing that name into the world. You actually knew him way before, right?
I didn't know him. I didn't know him personally. No, I had a brief encounter with him,
Yeah.
a funny brief encounter. I was going around these schools talking about, I'm going to have. And today, kids, we have a fireman in there.
Yeah.
And we have a policeman. Today, we have a pop star. And I was like, wow. Yeah, right. Wow. So then it was like, I go up there and I do my thing. I'm like, who wants to be a singer? Everybody put your hand up, or whoever wants to be a singer. And then this little kid put his hand up, and I was like, yeah, you want to sing? He's like, yeah. And I was like, why don't you come up here and sing with me now then? And so he did. We sang one of my songs together. And I remember thinking, oh wow, good looking kid, and he's. Whatever, it was like it takes a lot to come up on stage and do that. And next thing you know, he's got triple the amount of followers than me on Twitter. And I was like, well, it's not very fair. No, but it was brilliant, very happy for him.
If you have this footage, I would be very interested.
Even just I don't even have to release it.
No.
Just show me.
Yeah, for personal reasons.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he also boxed for 2 years.
Wow.
Also, he was gonna get an English degree and become an English teacher.
That is so cute.
I know.
Wow.
I know. Isn't it weird to think that all of One Direction are millennials?
Yes. Yes, it is weird to
I feel
think
like
that.
I think about that sometimes, but I've never, like, verbalized it. And it's so funny.
When you put things into words. Wow. Now we can process that together.
Just think about that.
Think about it.
Just let it sink in. Millennials
Millennials.
in One Direction.
I think that there should be a different generation for our age group, the ones that are born between like 1995 to like 2000, because
Yeah.
I feel like there is such a in general generational differences are made up, yes, but also there is such a cross between millennial and then Gen Z. Like, I don't necessarily identify with either of them.
I feel like I definitely, and maybe it's just because I'm like, ooh, I want to be younger. Like, I want to be, like, cool.
Right.
Like, I feel like I identify more with Gen Z.
That's, yeah.
Because I am in Gen Z, like,
Right.
technically.
Technically, yes.
But it's, like, at the very, very end.
The very end. Or the beginning. Yeah. Anyway, tangent.
Or, I guess it's not the end. Whatever. So, talking about Zayn's, like, audition and, like, X Factor experience, one of the fun facts I found out when I was looking into this, I don't know, I'm, like, researching X Factor and One Direction, is that, and he, like, Zayn went on, like, a podcast, like, I think earlier this year. I'm trying to remember, I don't remember what one it was, but he said that him and Harry actually met at the producer auditions.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So they kind of, like, knew each other. I think they met. He said they were sat next to each other at the Manchester audition.
That is amazing.
So it's like the off-camera auditions, like,
yeah.
yeah.
I met Harry on my audition day because we both auditioned in Manchester.
Okay, so you guys
And we
weren't
literally
complete.
sat next to each other in the audition.
Oh, so it was like fucking meant to be.
He was sat right next to me, we spoke, and I went in and did like a producing audition round, and then he went in straight after me. And we
Oh,
spoke
wow.
a little bit there, yeah.
That's like, I just love when the universe is like, yeah, this is gonna happen.
Yeah. And, like, so they weren't friends or anything, but they kind of, like, met and, like, knew each other and, like, talked a little bit. And then when they were, like, on the show as, like, solo acts, like, they kind of, you could see them talking in the background sometimes.
Yeah, and like when they were doing that, that one dance practice. I think we all know what we're talking about.
I
They
mean,
were
if
close
not,
together.
we're covering it soon.
We're gonna talk about it later. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, come back in a couple episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zayn and Harry. Amazing. Underrated
Yes.
One Direction duo.
I agree. Yeah. Zeri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also underrated by themselves.
Oh. Yeah.
There's so many. I mean, with 5 people, there's going to be complicated things
Oh,
between
yeah.
each person as 2 people, and then trios, and then oh my gosh,
And then, then
so
when
many
there's
combinations,
5. And then they're also working together and living together.
and their children.
And they're literal children.
Okay, so Zayn's audition was not aired on television,
Bullshit. I don't know if we're...
and like,
Are we swearing? I don't know, but I am.
I am.
Yeah.
well, I don't know if I'm gonna swear right now. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, so this whole, like, whose episode was aired, or whose audition was aired, whose wasn't, or, like, whatever, was, like, a huge, like, question. I was like, what is going on? When was this aired? Because I, like, literally watched, or, like, I went through all of the X Factor episodes themselves.
Whoa.
But, yeah, I feel like, okay, first of all, to me, Zayn's audition is... Obviously, I had to say Liam's is the best.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But Zayn's is definitely really good.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's just baseline good. Like, it's definitely second best.
Yes. No, I was going to say...
You're second best.
You're second best. If we are ranking them, it's Liam Zayn.
Yes, definitely. But
and
yeah,
I don't know if we should rank the other 3. I think that'd be a little...
Yeah, let's just leave it there.
Yeah, we'll just leave it. Yeah. We don't need to do that.
But yeah, his audition was not aired, and I was looking into this for a long time, trying to figure out what was going on, because obviously we have, like, old YouTube video, like, of, you know, the clip. But what I could find out was that, so some people, some places, some sources, whatever, said that it was on Extra Factor, which, as we talked about before, Extra Factor is what aired right after the main X Factor episode.
Right.
But I couldn't find it on Extra Factor. And I swear to you, I looked at all the, like, videos and clips, and I, like, you know, scrolled through, like, all the thumbnails and checked the comments if anybody mentions anything about Zayn or any One Direction member.
So where is it? Where is it?
It's possible, like, maybe it was shown on, like, as a commercial or something, like, during boot camp episodes. I think somebody said that it was aired during boot camp episodes. But it's definitely not part of, like, and to be fair, I don't have access to, like, you know, X Factor released episodes. Like, it's just, like, YouTube re-uploads.
Right, yeah, we're right, yeah.
But also, I found Zayn's #1 first, like, Twitter fan account.
Oh my god.
Called Zayn Malik Army. And
Slay.
they were created, like, I think right after, you know, they saw Zayn aired on TV. I think during when he had that little dancing, you know, segment we'll talk about later. Or in another episode. But so I found them through other means, which we'll talk about in a second. But they let me follow them because they were privated, and I was like, please let me follow you.
Please.
My inactive Twitter account.
Yeah.
And I found, like, an old, don't ask me, okay? Don't ask me. But I found an old tweet of theirs from the source, not a screenshot. I looked at it on my very own screen.
Whoa.
ITV2 tomorrow at 8 p.m. they are showing at Zayn Malik's first audition.
Whoa.
And this was tweeted on December 14th, 2010.
Wow.
So, I mean, that does lead me to believe that they didn't show it until then.
Right.
And this is, by the way, this is after the finale. So I think, like, One Direction, spoiler, lost.
Yep. Spoiler, guys.
They
if you didn't
lost.
know. Yeah.
And then fans were, like, you know, reacting to that.
Rioting on the streets.
And then they were like, let's give them a little extra and, like, show their auditions.
Right.
Altogether.
Yeah. Which is, like, wow.
So yeah, it's like 3 days after the season ended, they showed his audition.
They're like, as a little treat, here's this.
But yeah, as far as I could tell, like I'm like 99% sure that no one, like no audience member of that, like watching X Factor as it aired, saw Zayn's audition or Louis' audition, by the way.
That's crazy. So no one knew them until later.
Well, they didn't know, like, how they started out.
Oh, right. Oh,
Because obviously they had, like, their whole One Direction arc, but...
Yeah.
There you go.
That's... Wow. It was so secretive. I mean, it wasn't. They just didn't air it.
Okay, so another thing I found when I was doing my research is from Zayn Malik Army. And... I think I saw like a preview of a Google search, and then I clicked on it and it was like private, and then I got to follow them like literally like a week later. I was in suspense. Okay, so I found a picture because I was looking at like X Factor, Zayn, just like trying to find shit about it. A picture of Zayn talking clearly outside in like an X Factor like line of some sort,
Yeah.
talking to like production on mic.
On mic?
Like, they were interviewing him.
They were but we don't have that footage?
It was never aired. So I really don't know how this account found this picture.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I want to know.
But, like, he's wearing the same clothes as he did in the actual audition.
Right.
And I think there was a tweet of theirs that they said, like, he... you know, they had like a segment, I don't know, filmed for him with where he was singing and like being interviewed.
Wow.
I don't know, I don't know how many people they did that to.
Right. Probably a good amount.
And while we're, I know, I don't want to jump ahead too much when we're doing these, you know, focusing on one event, but like,
yeah.
Louis had a similar situation. He was also interviewed and it was never aired, and his mom like posted a picture, and we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Next episode.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
But yeah, I think that's relevant, obviously.
Yeah,
because
no,
like
it is.
how many of all of the contestants are getting interviewed and not having it aired?
Right.
Even to this day, I don't know, like, where is that footage?
Where is it? We want to know. We want this footage.
I don't know. I don't know how they found that image. And then they were also saying, like, on the account, like, does anybody want to see the footage of Zayn's interview on X Factor that's never been seen? I don't know if people just don't believe them or what, because nobody was like, yeah, like, it wasn't like a big
deal.
I don't
Maybe
know.
not a big deal, but no one was fighting for it.
Yeah.
Maybe we should fight for it.
I'm gonna fight. But it was like, it's like a tweet from like 2010.
Right. Reply tweet from 2010. Would that even work?
I want to see this footage so bad.
Yeah, I want to know what questions were asked. I want to know
What
the
did he
answers.
say?
Yes.
What did he say?
And did you say he was singing too?
That's what like this tweet said that I found.
I want to know.
Who knows? Who knows?
Literally.
The truth. Okay. Anyway, on to the audition itself.
Woohoo!
Zayn was 17 years old at this time.
Wow.
And like later on, he says that, you know, his mom dragged him out of bed at like 3 or 4 a.m. to audition, and he didn't want to, you know, disappoint her. And yeah, he said he just like wanted to go back to sleep.
That is so real.
And I feel like, I don't know how much to like talk about future events, but I think we said like if we have our like general knowledge already, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to separate them. So
yeah, but like stuff I don't know, and just to be completely candid, like stuff like, for example, about Liam's death, or like Liam's even just like recent life, I really don't know anything about. Yeah. But like if we ever get to that, then I'll talk about it. But yeah, it's like just like things like that I don't know stuff about yet. I'm not gonna like really speak on.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, this is kind of going off. That's the first time we've talked about his death in this series.
I know.
And I think that I mean, I do, for me at least, this this project is part of the grieving process. And I don't want to take too much away from this episode for that, but I think that anyway, this is off topic, but
yeah, I mean, I don't think we're gonna have like a dedicated like episode about his death unless we really get all the way to 2024
right
in the timeline here.
Yeah, that would be fucking insane.
So I think it's okay. Like, I think it's good to like talk about it when it comes up, like, because yeah, I feel like, you know, his death did bring me back to One Direction. I kind of was keeping tabs on them, obviously, but like this is it's bringing me back a lot.
I literally have like I've been keeping tabs. Like, I've seen Niall.
And we saw Niall.
I've seen Niall a couple times. We saw Niall very recently, in fact. And like, I've listened to their music, like, but yeah, definitely was like his death was almost like the catalyst back into the whole world of One Direction.
Yeah. And like, I remember like I was watching, and to be fair, like also his like controversies were coming out. Not to get into that either, but like and that kind of was like getting me on somehow on One Direction like TikTok. Yeah. And then I just was watching like Mila Tequila's big huge One Direction deep dive video, and then like a couple hours later I heard the news. Yeah. So it's just all
again with the universe.
I know.
Which it's so strange.
But anyway, I bring that up to say that in terms of like, you know, he says that Zayn says that his mom like dragged him out of bed at 3 or 4 a.m. to audition, and he didn't really want to. I'm sure he did want to. Yeah. But he was probably really anxious. Yeah. And like scared, you know. Yeah. And then he says he did it for his mom. Oh. And I feel like this kind of like comment that he does say later on, I think, and I don't think he says it at this time, but or around this time, but yeah, I feel like it's kind of like telling of, you know, his struggles with being in the spotlight, being in the band, and like he had a lot of issues with like anxiety and like just like the vitriol against him, racism, things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Islamophobia.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they were all having crazy identity, like, crises. Because, like, that's when you're figuring yourself out. Yeah. Like, and, like, you're getting told all these things, like, you're this, you're that, like, you're not this way, oh my gosh. And, like, I feel like Zayn had some of the weirdest stereotypes against him. Not even necessarily racist stereotypes. That's just like what comes to my mind when I say stereotype. Like, he's vain and he's like mysterious and whatever.
Yeah, he's the bad boy.
And it's like, what are you supposed to do with that when you are like, you're not a Niall, like you're not like super outgoing and you're not super like you do have some nerves, you do have anxiety. Yeah. Like, and that does get into your head, you know, like. What are you supposed to do with that at that age?
Yeah, and then to be in the spotlight. Yeah, exactly. You take it to heart. And to be in the spotlight where you can't necessarily, like, show it. Like, you can't really be outright with those anxieties or without, like, some sort of repercussions or consequences, whether or not those are positive or negative. And I can't even imagine that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I mean, I had a really chaotic time in high school. I can't even imagine also all the labor they were doing. Right. And, you know, being in the spotlight.
You know what? Thank God they were paid.
Yeah.
I don't even know, like, I don't know the logistics. I don't know percentages, but, like, hearing about other like child stars and how like I guess they weren't seen as minors though.
Yeah, probably not. And they were like quickly, like when they were the most famous, they were probably,
Yeah.
I don't know what the English
Right. I guess I
age,
don't know the specifics.
whatever is, but they were already like 18.
Yeah.
You know, by a certain point.
So that definitely helped with the money aspect, being able to be more in control of that.
Yeah, but we really don't even know the details.
No.
We actually don't know anything.
Yeah, literally all speculation.
Yeah, but I hope they were on backpacks and lunch boxes and notebooks, and they were toys, and they were
oh my god,
blankets, like they were everywhere. So you have to assume they're making something
yes,
from that.
Exactly. I would hope so. I hope they still are.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really crazy. I took it for granted when we could just go to Walmart and get One Direction stuff.
Right? Like, literally, you could go to your local Walmart and go to an aisle. There was something One Direction.
Go to what?
Go to an aisle.
Oh, I thought you said go to Nile.
Go to Nile. Personally, that's what I did. I went to Nile.
You go to Nile, and there's One Direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and yeah, I feel like his family is like really important to him too. So.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, all that to say, his mom got him out there.
Thank you.
His mom got him to One Direction.
Yeah.
Thank
wow.
you.
Thank you.
Trisha.
Thank you, Trisha.
Let me make sure that's her name.
Yeah, it is. I was thinking about that too. I was like,
Trisha. Anyway, moving on to his outfit.
Yay. I love this part.
Okay, so his hair is like this little baby. I don't know. It's not a mohawk. I don't know what the names of men's hair is.
No, but I can it's like shaved at the sides with it's like more with more on the top.
Yeah,
and the stuff on the top is very much like spiked up.
that stuff on the top.
The stuff on the top.
But yeah, like it's like gelled and like
Yeah.
styled like
Yep.
at the top, but the sides are like short. Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is very cute.
Yes, it is. It is.
He has a black zip-up hoodie.
Underneath almost like a blazer. I thought he was wearing a vest. And I was like, you're lying to me. I know.
What?
Oh yeah, I know it's a hood up. It's a hood up.
What's happening?
Well, I thought he was wearing a vest.
He is.
But is that not the hoodie?
It's a hoodie vest.
Okay, yes, I should clarify. I thought he was wearing just like a normal vest. Like one with buttons. Not a hoodie vest.
Big Time Rush vest.
Yeah, like a Big Time Rush vest. And I was like, I was really trying to study it. But when you said it was a hoodie vest, I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah, like in the pictures where he was like being interviewed, he is wearing his, it's just a sleeveless hoodie basically.
Right. And it's a zip-up hoodie, which I think is incredible. You don't see that.
You don't see that every day, and
You
it's
don't
beautiful.
see it. And yeah, it's beautiful.
But yeah, I guess he is wearing like a blazer or something, right?
Yeah, that's that's a blazer with a t-shirt underneath. It's like what is that, brown?
Yeah, it's like a brown shirt. It has something written on it.
And those
or like a picture. I don't know.
Yeah,
what it is.
it's like a graphic tee.
Yeah.
Graphic tee underneath a zip-up hoodie vest. Underneath a blazer.
The layers.
Yes, and then those baggy dark wash jeans that are like a dark gray. That's what I think. Well, but
Dark
also
gray.
no, but those
They're
also
like-
look blue.
Each picture looks different to me.
Yeah,
They're dark.
They're dark. They're just dark. Because like in some of the when he's on the stage, I see. I mean, it's also my phone. I am looking at it through a screen. So it's the next dress. Is it black and blue or
The next what?
then remember that dress?
Oh.
On the internet? What was the other? Anyway, this is going to go off topic. I never saw it the other way. I only saw
Really?
black and blue.
It was white and gold.
White and
I saw
gold.
both.
That
but
is crazy.
I think every time I first looked at it, it was always black and blue. And then if I like tried hard, I could see it the other way.
I just I could not.
Oh my god, that was so. Why did that take the internet by storm?
That literally. Oh, yeah. So those, yes, and they're like, those are pretty baggy, and then you go down to the shoes.
There's really not very many good like images or even like
No.
parts of the audition video that like you can see it very well.
Right, and it's frustrating. I want to know these details.
I don't get what these shoes are. Like they could be sneakers, they could be boots. I don't know what's going on.
They look to me like some form of boot.
Yeah,
some form.
they look like kind of combat
Yes.
/ hiking boots almost, like
Yes.
inspired.
Yes, and they're lace up and
Untied.
untied, literally untied. That was just the style. Untied.
I don't think I did that, but I feel like I can definitely see like remember
Yeah.
a lot of like boys doing that.
Yes.
I feel like so many kids, at least like, you know, from my memory, a lot of like kids were really embarrassed to tie their shoes. Like it would be like embarrassing to tie your shoes, and
Yeah.
it was embarrassing to have a freaking backpack.
Yes.
They were like, it's so embarrassing.
embarrassing.
Like, I'm too cool for a backpack.
I know. I want my little messenger bag.
No, they were like, I don't
Oh.
take books home. I don't do homework.
I was like, I want my little messenger bag.
I don't remember any other messenger bags besides yours.
I thought I was so cool to have my little messenger bag.
No, but like these, I feel like kids in our school,
Yeah.
they were like, bags are embarrassing.
Right. No, yeah.
Carrying things is so embarrassing.
Bringing your homework home. Ew.
I was bringing home like 5 books every day.
Yes.
Because I'm like, didn't we not get the same homework? I don't understand.
No, I know. And then on top of the books that I would bring home, I would also bring my own, like, the books that I was reading currently.
Yeah. The planner, all the notebooks, the folders.
Oh my
It was
God.
really out of hand.
It really was. And
Today it would just be like a laptop.
exactly, or like a tablet or some shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Throwback.
Wow.
Yeah, so anyway, as far as jewelry, he's wearing one little earring.
Yes.
As far as I can tell.
Yeah, I can't really see anything else.
He's wearing like a necklace. I think it's kind of like surfer vibes.
Yeah.
I wish I don't know the names of
yeah.
anything, like I said.
I think surfer vibe is a good
But it's
way
not
to
like
put it.
puka shells. It's like something else.
Yeah, it looks like some tiny like bead.
Yeah.
I wish I could. Is that a watch on his hand? Oh my God.
In my notes, I said, "Oh, and a watch."
I got there. Which is so crazy.
Oh, and he's wearing a necklace. Did I say that?
Yeah.
he is. A ring and a bracelet.
I wonder, okay, this applies to all of them. I wonder where these accessories are in the world. Because if I was their moms, I would have them locked in a little box.
They probably threw them away or something. Like once you get famous, remember when they first got like money and they were buying like Aeropostale?
Yeah.
They were like, "I'm getting rid of all this stuff."
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
That's fair.
Like not now, but if I was that age,
Right.
I'd just be like, "Yeah, I'm not ever putting that on."
No, I would literally, well, I think I would have some pieces, like necklaces, that I'd be like, I'm wearing this forever, my entire life. But I definitely would be like my pants and my shirts, they'd be gone. They'd be in the trash. If I was 16 years old and rich, yeah. You would see me in a completely different outfit than what I would just.
Yeah, do you remember? There's like a picture of One Direction when they like I said, when they were like really getting famous and getting money, and they're all just wearing like, you know, Hollister, like
my God.
Abercrombie, like the branded like things. Like,
Yeah.
and they look so 2010. It's
Yeah.
insane. But
I
that's exactly what I would have done, because whenever I had money not at that age, but at that time, I was obviously younger than them. Mm-hmm. Like I would buy Aeropostale.
I did not, but I also was. I don't.
At least I had a phase where I liked
Right,
Aeropostale.
you
And then I
wanted-
liked Hot
yeah.
Topic.
Hot Topic.
It was a journey.
It was a journey.
And then I liked thrifting,
Yep.
Tumblr.
Tumblr. Yep. I mean, no, I don't even want to say it. But I was going to talk about the sweaters like the old grandpa
Yeah.
sweaters that we wore.
Our whole friend group was so annoying. In like a funny, I don't know.
We were so like, we were
It's just like looking
literally
back.
the hipsters,
Yeah.
but like small town hipsters, not like the
Ew.
cool, like, I mean, we were kind of cool.
I'm not trying to insult us, but it's just
Not trying to
funny
insult
like how cool and better we thought we were than everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, like, you know, we were not at the top of the social structure,
No,
so
we
that
were
was like the
not.
reason why we were like trying to be,
Yeah.
you know, quote unquote better than everyone else.
Yeah.
But still.
Yeah. And I don't know. We were fine.
Yeah.
Silence. But yeah, we like, I don't know. I don't remember what we were talking about before.
Aeropostale.
Aeropostale. Yeah, no, I didn't have money, really. And if I did have money, I would spend it on kind of stupid shit. And it wasn't typically clothes.
Aeropostale is stupid.
That's true. But I wasn't like, yeah, okay. You got me
As
there.
opposed to me buying Aeropostale, which is smart, you bought stupid stuff.
Yeah. Exactly.
But, like, it was
And
like
it's-
birthday money. Like
Right.
it
Yeah, yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
like, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah. What did I when I had money, what did I do
I was
with
a
it?
good saver from
That's
like
true,
the
you
beginning.
were.
I was like, ooh, I have all this like birthday, Christmas money.
Yeah.
And my birthday and Christmas are really close together, to be fair, but still. I would like wait for like our trip to the mall.
our literally yearly art club trip to the mall.
Like any trip to the mall.
Oh, yeah.
Like we were like what, like over an hour away from
Yes.
well, I guess we did have a mall, a shitty
There was
mall.
a dead mall in about 45 minutes away from us.
And then like over an hour away is where you would really go to the mall.
that's
There's
where
a
you'd
food
be
court,
shopping. Yep.
stuff like that.
Going to
so
see
I
a
would
movie.
wait. I would save all my money for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember there was this one store that had like crystals in it. That was the store where I would spend my money. But I don't remember the name of it.
Okay. Anyway, so Zayn's judges are Simon and Louis, of course, which are like the main season judges, and Nicole Scherzinger.
Wow. Nicole.
Did we have her already? Was she on? No,
No.
this is our first time.
Yeah,
seeing, having her.
Yep.
I don't know anything about her really, but she seems so nice and so
Yes,
sweet.
I agree.
Like just based on X Factor content, she just is like so nice.
Like just the way she's like I know, like she just has that presence of like, I can see that you're nervous and like here's feedback that's not gonna absolutely destroy you.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, thank you.
Oh yeah, Nicole is from the Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody in there. Like I didn't know
I
any
don't-
of those names.
I don't think I could name anyone else.
Yeah, but yeah, she's a guest judge. So yeah, another fun fact: Cheryl Cole, she was what?
I was just laughing about this fact that you're about to bring in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that is. Yeah, it's not very fun.
It is not.
It's a fact.
It is just a fact.
So she was a permanent judge on this season, but she got malaria.
Malaria.
She
crazy.
like at one point collapsed while she was like at the X Factor like, you know, set or whatever.
Oh my god.
And it was really bad. Like I don't know the details. I don't know much about malaria.
I don't
or,
know
like,
much about
what
no.
happens if you die from it, like what goes on in your body, but yeah, I think she was honestly really close to death.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, so she misses Manchester auditions. And yeah, so
And they just carry on.
she
Carry on with the show.
But behind the scenes, all was not well.
I don't feel well.
Are you ill?
She is exhausted.
Cheryl collapses. Cheryl Cole has collapsed.
Cheryl wasn't just ill, she was seriously ill.
yeah, she comes back later. So it was supposed to be the three of them plus Cheryl. But Nicole is a guest judge, and okay, yeah, Nicole was supposed to only be a judge for the auditions. I think she was already gonna be there, but then she was like asked to stay because Cheryl had malaria.
That is insane.
And yeah,
I'm just so happy she stayed. Thank you,
I
Nicole.
know.
Thank you.
But yeah, she was only gonna be a guest judge for the audition, and then they asked her to stay for the boot camp. Can you even imagine? I don't want to say.
Right.
I don't want to say the cause and effect of malaria.
Right.
But
Just
if you know, then you know.
I don't want to. Right. I also don't want to say anything.
It's a key factor.
Right. Exactly. Like, you sometimes. No. Sometimes malaria can
Heals.
heals. It can lead to good things. And in this instance, anyway.
Yeah.
That magazine, I do not feel well at all.
There's a magazine article about her collapsing at X Factor.
Oh my god.
So yeah, she did not feel well at all.
Oh.
At all. I can kind of do a standard British accent, but if I try to do any of the regional British accents, oh my goodness.
When I do a British accent, I just hope that whatever comes out sounds British. And that's...
Yeah. And I forget where she's from, but she has a very... It's not like a London accent at all.
No.
Anyway, so yeah, it's those 3 judges. Cheryl is recovering in hospital.
In hospital.
Yeah, so Zayn says he's wanted to do this. I mean, I guess Simon asked him why are you here or whatever. He said he wanted to do this since he was younger, and he figured he'd give it a shot to see how far he'd get. And again, this is another feature of all of the boys seem to be I don't know, I just showed up here. Meanwhile, they have music experience behind the scenes. If you're performing for Jay Sean, I don't really understand.
Why are you being so coy?
Yeah.
You guys all knew you wanted to do this.
Yeah. And we'll get into Louis later, but
yeah.
Wow, that was awesome.
Thanks.
But yeah, they all had some sort of concrete experience, if not a lot of concrete experience.
Right, which definitely helps.
Yeah. But yeah, his audition, the tiny, what is it, 30 seconds or whatever,
Literally 30
is so
seconds.
short. He's just my name's Zayn, and then he's oh. And then Nicole's wow. And then he goes through and he's thank you. And then he just leaves.
Yeah.
My name's Zayn. You're the type of woman to see good things. Yeah.
Yes.
He said I'm going to say yes.
A little bit more with the extended cut.
But it's is it even a minute? I don't remember. It's been a couple.
The extended cut is 5 minutes.
Okay,
I think.
good. I wish we had a list of the times for each one because they're so different.
Yeah. I think Mila Tequila did that in her video.
Yeah. So if you want to see that, go watch Mila Tequila's video.
Oh my god, Mila Tequila. Mila Tequila.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's really quiet, especially the first clip that was initially aired at some point. He just comes off as so quiet and just no. And then he now I am feeling I'm gonna say he shows up, he serves, and he leaves.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
Yeah. In my head, it changed to Slade, but yeah, he serves and then he leaves.
Yeah. I don't think I say slay.
No, I don't think you do either.
But yeah, he sings Let Me Love You by Mario.
Wow.
And you can tell he's like nervous. But he's really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, especially for like such a young voice, like a
Yes.
young person. And he does, I think Mila Tequila says the term for what he's doing where he's like sliding between notes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and he does that for a long time
Yeah.
until like One Direction sounds like more cohesive because he's just trying to be like, like,
yeah.
I don't even know.
Right?
You don't believe his stories. You know that they're online.
But he does that a lot, and yeah, he just has like his, like when he's doing that, his like head is like bobbing, and I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah, like he's just moving with
like,
the music.
Yeah, it's so like fluid, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I said in the notes, he really got the R&B and dare I say ethnic knocked out of him once 1D were solidified as a band. I don't think I was planning to read that word for word, but here I am.
I was like, when you stopped the pause after ethnic, I was like, what are you gonna say? And then I was like, yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he really had to just go like, obviously he was a really good singer and he was like known for the solos and like the high parts and stuff. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, he really had to go like almost take his style, his stylistic,
Yes.
you know, vocal style, whatever, away.
Yeah, and like, oh my god, what is that word? Not strain it, but like, funnel.
Things.
Like he could not be authentic. There's a word I'm thinking of, but it doesn't matter right now.
Like filter?
Filter. Yeah. He really had to filter himself to be cohesive with the group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure it would. That would suck.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just sad. I don't even know what else to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So once he's done, Louis says he's got something, but he needs like stage presence and seems like unsure about himself.
Leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
Leave him alone.
And Nicole says he has a natural talent and she really likes his voice.
So real.
And I actually think you have a very natural talent. There's something about you, and I really like your voice.
So yeah, Louis says yes. Nicole says yes. Like, she says that he's so young and can grow so much. And Simon says yes.
Yay. 3 yeses.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is Zayn's audition.
That's crazy.
I can't even believe how much we got to talking about.
We really yapped on this one.
But to be fair, like, this is when like Cheryl gets malaria and and then the like never aired interview.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Well, I do feel like with Zayn's there's so little content that it kind of gave us room to yap.
Yeah. True.
Kind of fun. I'm not happy that Zayn didn't get a lot more content, but
yeah,
gave it
it's
to him.
hard, like there's not a lot to go off of when it comes to Zayn.
Yeah.
But, you know?
Yeah.
What you get is
what you get. What you see is what you get.
That sounds bad.
That does sound bad, yeah.
But I guess when it comes to Zayn, what you see is what you get. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, let's
wrap it up.
End it there.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, that was Zayn's audition.
Yay.
Start of Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
Zayn lore. Yeah, and the next time is
Dubé. No.
Yes.
Sorry,
I was like, it just sounded like you said like Dewey or something.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Dewey, the 6th member of One Direction.
Dewey.
Huey. Louis.
Yeah, Louis' audition.
Yes.
Is next.
Louis.
And his background is interesting.
Yes, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Come back next time.
Come back.
Come back.
Come back, please.
Okay. Thanks.
Bye.